You sleep, but your heart does not. It doesn't rest. It doesn't relax. It doesn't sigh with relief the way you imagine. It works, quietly, tirelessly, every night. And if you sleep on your back after age 60, your heart might be running a marathon, in the dark, without cheering, without water, without anyone knowing. Just it, alone, beating relentlessly to keep you alive through the night. You won't hear it cry for help. You won't feel dramatic chest pain or any of those big, flashy signs you see in movies. But you'll feel something strange. You might wake up feeling heavy. Your heart is racing for no apparent reason. A tiredness you can't explain, as if you didn't sleep at all but fought to survive the night. Eleanor Pierce, 73, knows exactly what that feels like. She never smoked, never drank. He eats plenty of vegetables. He walks every morning. Doctors told her her heart was just fine. But every morning she woke up feeling like someone had squeezed her chest during the night. She thought it was age. There was just something normal about getting old. Until a friend, who happened to watch a video on sleep apnea, told her she should try changing how she sleeps. No pills, no expensive medical devices. Just a simple shift from lying on her back to sleeping on her left side. And then something miraculous happened. That heavy fatigue began to fade. Her heart rate slowed. She slept more deeply, and she felt like she had rested for the first time in years. If you're hearing this and thinking, that's me, I sleep 7 or 8 hours and still wake up completely drained, then maybe you're doing one small thing wrong, and that small thing might be quietly hurting your heart every night, without you even knowing. Sleep after 60 isn't just about enough hours, it's about recovery, about survival. And more than ever, a sleep position after 60 is vital in protecting your heart. Sleeping in the wrong position won't knock you down instantly, but it can wear your heart out, little by little, night after night, quietly but consistently, until one day you no longer have the strength to rise gently from your bed in the morning. Think about it. You lie down every night, trusting your body will repair itself. But what if the very position you sleep in is slowing your breathing, compressing your lungs, placing pressure on your arteries, forcing your heart to work twice as hard to keep blood flowing? That's not the rest. That's punishment, and no one warns you about it. We're taught to eat healthy, to walk daily, to avoid staying up late, but no one ever tells you. Sleeping on your back after 60 can be a hidden habit that leads to heart failure. Eleanor isn't the only one. Millions of older adults across the world are sleeping in the wrong position every night, thinking they're resting, but in reality, they are putting their hearts through an unfair battle. You see, at 40, 50, you might sleep however you want and be fine. Your body can still bounce back. But after 60, everything changes. Blood vessels lose their elasticity. Lungs don't open as easily. The heart is no longer as resilient as it once was. And the scary part is that you won't feel any of it while sleeping. You'll only notice it when you wake up with that strange fatigue, a shortness of breath when you get out of bed, or a lingering headache that lasts all morning. Some blame it on age. Some go to doctors. Some take more supplements. But very few ask themselves, could it be my sleeping position? Woo. And even fewer know this. By simply changing the way you lie down, you can ease the burden on your heart, reduce the risk of arrhythmia, and enjoy much deeper sleep. This isn't a theory. It's been studied, proven. Sleeping on your back allows your tongue and soft tissues to block your airway, leading to sleep apnea. As oxygen drops, the heart must race to compensate. The constant racing increases blood pressure, triggers the sympathetic nervous system, raises cortisol, leads to shallow sleep. A vicious cycle. And your heart is the one that pays the price. That's why thousands of cardiologists, neurologists, and sleep experts now recommend older adults should prioritize sleeping on their left side. Not for comfort, for longevity. We're not saying you need to stay in one position all night. It's nearly impossible. But if you begin your sleep in the correct position and help your body learn that habit, things will start to change. You don't need pills. You don't need devices. You don't need to spend a dime. Just lie down the right way and listen to your body. Because if you sleep in the wrong position, especially on your back, your heart may never truly rest. And one day, it will speak up, not with words, but with silent signals. A restless night, a dizzy morning, an irregular heartbeat, and sometimes a crisis you weren't ready for. So if you're still sleeping on your back every night, it's time to reconsider. You don't have to change everything. Just change the first position you lie in when you close your eyes. Because of that one small change, could be the greatest gift you ever give your heart. Not for today, but for the next 5, 10, even 15 years, so that you still have the strength to step firmly out of bed and smile at the morning ahead. 1. Why sleep position matters after 60. Something strange begins to happen after the age of 60. It's not that you suddenly grow weak. It's not because you've become inactive or eat poorly. It's because your body starts to change quietly and subtly. You're still you, still the person who used to climb 3 or 4 flights of stairs without stopping, still the one who walked the neighborhood every morning. But now, even something as simple as sleep no longer feels as easy as it once did. Sleep, it sounds so simple. Just lie down, close your eyes, and let time pass. But the truth is, after 60, sleep is no longer a passive act. It becomes a process, one that needs to be protected. Why? Because when you sleep, your body enters a deep state of repair. Every system, cardiovascular, nervous, immune, endocrine, begins a quiet rebuilding cycle. And when you're young, this process runs smoothly. But after 60, those systems begin to slow down, bit by bit. It starts with your circulatory system. Once soft and flexible like new tubing, your blood vessels stiffen. The space inside them narrows. Their ability to stretch decreases. That means your heart has to pump harder to push blood through your body. Then come the lungs. Over time, lung tissue loses elasticity. The alveoli, tiny air sacs where oxygen exchange happens, don't expand like they used to. Taking a deep breath becomes harder, especially while lying down. And it gets worse if you're lying in the wrong position, for example, on your back. Third is the sympathetic nervous system, responsible for your fight or flight response. After 60, this system becomes more sensitive. Even a slight drop in oxygen, a bit of acid reflux, or a skipped heartbeat can trigger it, releasing adrenaline, speeding up your heart, and disturbing your sleep without you even knowing. Now picture this. You're lying on your back. Your tongue gently falls backward, blocking your airway. Your lungs can't fully expand. Blood pools in the lungs, creating pressure. Your neck and spine aren't adequately supported, and your heart has to work twice as hard to maintain a minimal oxygen and blood flow while you're resting. That's not the rest. That's labor. It's heavy, invisible work, and your heart is the overworked laborer. Sadly, most of us never realize it. We think, if I'm sleeping, I must be fine. But sleeping the right way is what truly matters. A 40-year-old can sleep in the wrong position, breathe shallowly, even snore all night, and be mostly fine. But a 70-year-old, even a 5 to 10% drop in oxygen throughout the night is enough to force the heart into overdrive. And when that happens, night after night, it leaves damage. An aging body can no longer make up for that as it used to. It doesn't respond as quickly to stress. It doesn't bounce back easily from shallow sleep. Every drop in oxygen, every heartbeat that races in the dark, chips away at you. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found older adults who regularly sleep on their backs have a 2.4 times higher risk of heart rhythm disorders than those who sleep on their sides. Risks for high blood pressure, sleep apnea, and daytime fatigue also rise significantly. And let's not forget the brain. During deep sleep, the brain enters a process called waste clearance, where the lymphatic system flushes out toxic byproducts, leaving you more alert in the morning. But if your breathing is disrupted, if your brain isn't getting enough oxygen, that process stalls. You wake up foggy, forgetful, struggling to focus. Over time, it leads to cognitive decline. It's all because of the wrong sleep position. You might find it surprising. It's just sleeping on my back. Isn't that more comfortable? Doesn't it help my spine? Isn't it easier? Yes, if you're 25. No, if you're over 60. Your body isn't as forgiving anymore. A little pressure in the wrong place, and blood flow to your brain gets restricted. A slight misalignment in your spine, and you wake up with numb hands or a stiff neck. What seems like a harmless posture becomes the quiet start of a chain of problems: rapid heartbeat, shortness of breath, shallow sleep, and eventually, silent heart failure. That's why we say, after 60, sleep isn't just rest, it's part of your survival strategy. You can no longer count on your body to figure it out alone. You need to support it. You need to arrange your sleep position so your heart can rest, your lungs can expand, and your brain can receive full circulation. Only then can your body truly recover overnight. We know changing the way you sleep isn't easy, especially if you've been sleeping on your back for years. But remember this: the position you choose when you first fall asleep will shape how you feel the next morning. One stormy night won't cause heart failure, but 1,000 bad nights might. So the next time you lie in bed, don't just think about falling asleep. Ask yourself, will my heart get to rest tonight? Do my lungs have room to breathe? Is my spine straight and relaxed? And most importantly, will this position help me wake up stronger? After 60, sleeping the wrong way is not just unhelpful, it's harmful. And you deserve more than just closing your eyes. You deserve to recover. 2. The most dangerous sleep position: lying on your back, supine position. You may have grown used to this position without even noticing. Lying on your back, hands resting on your stomach, eyes gently closed, breathing in deeply. It is the perfect way to relax. It looks peaceful. It feels comfortable. And yet, it's the most dangerous sleeping position after age 60. Does that sound like an exaggeration? Maybe, but let your body speak for itself. Let's go back to Eleanor. Before she changed her sleep posture, she always slept on her back. She said, "It's the position where I feel the lightest." And yes, at first, it felt easy. But as the night went on, she noticed her throat becoming dry, her heartbeat speeding up, and every morning she had to sit still for several minutes before she could step out of bed. The problem wasn't her dreams. It was the fact that her airway was being compressed all night long. When you lie on your back, gravity pulls your tongue and soft tissue in the throat backward. Especially in older adults, where those tissues have lost firmness, they tend to sag and partially block the airway. That's why so many people snore when sleeping on their backs, and it's also one of the hidden triggers of sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is not just about loud snoring, as most people think. It's a process where the airway becomes obstructed, causing a sudden drop in blood oxygen. Each time that happens, your brain and heart are forced to react. The brain wakes you, often for just a few seconds, so fast you won't remember. The heart must pump harder to get oxygen to your organs. This can happen dozens, even hundreds of times in a single night. No alarms, just a heart pounding in the dark, struggling to keep you alive. That's not the rest. That's strain. You think you're sleeping. But in truth, you're forcing your heart to operate in emergency mode for 7 hours. A study by the American Heart Association showed older adults with untreated sleep apnea are 3 times more likely to develop arrhythmias and face a significantly higher risk of heart failure. But the story doesn't stop there. Sleeping on your back is also the perfect position for acid reflux. Your stomach tilts to the left, and when you lie flat on your back, especially after eating too close to bedtime, stomach acid can more easily flow into the esophagus. You may not fully feel it. Sometimes it's just a mild burning in your throat, a bitter taste in your mouth in the morning, or a dry cough at night. But inside, the acid is damaging the lining of your esophagus, irritating the vagus nerve, and more importantly, triggering a stress response throughout your body. At that point, your heart isn't just fighting low oxygen. It also deals with chemical signals of stress from acid, a double assault during a time when you believed your body was recovering. And there's more. Lying on your back can also trigger arrhythmias in older adults, especially those with sensitive nervous systems. It's a common but little-known phenomenon. As the airway narrows bit by bit and blood flow becomes uneven due to pressure on the aorta, the heart begins to beat irregularly. Not the dramatic chest-clutching moments from the movies. Just a skipped beat, a breath that catches, a thump faster than usual. Repeated night after night, month after month, year after year. And over time, the heart weakens, but no one knows why. It's like running a marathon in the dark, no lights, no audience. I have no idea where the finish line is, or when you might collapse. Sleeping on your back used to be called the neutral position, less twisting, easier on the spine. And that might be true if you're young, but after 60, that neutral position becomes a risk, because every weakness in the aging body gets amplified when you lie on your back. Tongue falls back, blocked airway, chest weighed down, lungs can't fully expand, acid rises, inflamed esophagus. Nervous system activates, insomnia, heart palpitations, spine unsupported, neck pain, backaches in the morning. You don't feel all of this while you sleep, but in the morning, your body leaves you clues. A racing heartbeat, heavy eyelids, a lightheaded moment as you step out of bed. A nagging thought, why do I feel exhausted even though I slept enough? That's not how rest should feel. Not if you choose the correct position. The good news is, you can change this. No medical devices, no medications, just one slight shift. Don't begin your sleep lying on your back. We're not saying you'll stay in one position all night. That's natural. We all shift in our sleep. But what does matter is this. Start your night in a safer posture and allow your body to form that habit. It might take time to adjust, but your heart will thank you. Your lungs will breathe more deeply, and your mornings will begin more gently just after a few nights. Because sleep after 60 is no longer just a time to relax. It's a quiet battlefield where every cell in your body tries to heal. You can help your body win or quietly wear it down just by how you lie down. So tonight, before you turn off the light, ask yourself, am I lying on my back out of habit or because I didn't know it could quietly exhaust my heart? You don't have to change everything overnight. Just change the starting position. One simple choice could prevent a long list of complications later on. And sometimes, living longer and living stronger begins with a single gentle turn. 3. The optimal solution: sleeping on your left side. Not everyone realizes it, but sometimes, the simplest solution is the one we overlook the most. By now, you've seen how sleeping on your back after 60 can silently put pressure on your heart, narrow your airway, trigger sleep apnea acid reflux, and leave you feeling tired instead of rested. But there's a simple solution, gentle and completely free. Sleep on your left side, just one shift, and your cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, and nervous systems all quietly thank you. Sounds strange? Let your body be the judge. When you sleep on your left side, your heart is freed from the weight of gravity. The chest wall and bone structure no longer compresses it like it is when you lie on your back. Your heart sits slightly to the left in your chest, so when you turn toward that side, the heart is positioned above other organs, not underneath them. It's no longer being squeezed, no longer overloaded. It finally has space to beat slower, more gently. And that, more than anything, is what your heart needs after 60. When your heart doesn't have to work overtime, pressure on the vessel walls decreases. Heart rhythm steadies. Blood pressure stops fluctuating wildly at night. It's like leaning back into a chair and taking a long, deep exhale, a release of tension after years of carrying the weight. But it's not just the heart. Your largest blood vessel, the aorta, benefits too. The aorta arches to the left as it leaves the heart. When you lie on your left side, that curve flattens. Blood flows more smoothly. The heart doesn't have to push around a bend. It can simply pump blood forward without resistance. And that alone relieves your heart of hundreds of stressful contractions each night. Over time, night after night, that adds to a gift of rest your heart has long deserved. Left side sleeping also allows your lungs to expand more fully. Have you ever noticed how lying on your back feels like you can't quite breathe down to your belly? That's because your diaphragm is being compressed by gravity, your chest, and sometimes by gas buildup in the stomach. But when you turn to your left, the lungs have more room. The diaphragm moves freely. You can breathe deeply without trying, and that reduces the activation of your sympathetic nervous system. You fall into deeper rest without adrenaline jolts. No silent stress during sleep. You're not just sleeping, you're healing. And then there's this, something many older adults experience but never realize: acid reflux. Do you often wake with a dry mouth, sore throat, or bitter taste? That could be a sign of nighttime reflux. Your stomach is located on the left side of your abdomen. So when you lie on your left side, acid is less likely to travel up the esophagus because the opening of the stomach sits below the acid line. It's like tipping a bottle to prevent it from spilling, instead of standing it upright and letting liquid rise to the top. No acid, no nerve irritation, no sudden wake-ups, no spike in heart rate. A chain of healing reactions begins with one small thing: sleeping on your left side. Here's another little-known benefit: better brain detox. Your brain has a special lymphatic system that clears away waste, but only activates during deep sleep. Left side sleeping enhances the flow of cerebrospinal fluid, supporting this cleanup process. And if you're concerned about memory, mental sharpness, or cognitive decline, this is something you should not overlook. Sleeping on your left side isn't just a more comfortable position. It's a full-body strategy, simultaneously supporting your heart, lungs, brain, and digestion. A gentle tilt to the left, and your heart finally exhales. But you may be wondering, how can I stay in that position all night? How do I, someone who's been sleeping on my back for years, change that habit? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to stay in one position for 8 straight hours. All you need is to begin your night sleeping on your left side. That's the first signal your brain receives. The first state your body settles into. The first stage of sleep is often the deepest and most restorative part of the night. If you can maintain that position for the first 1-2 hours, you've already given your heart a break. You've already shifted how it recovers. Here's how to make it easier. Hug a long body pillow across your chest and legs. Make sure your head pillow is just right, Not too high, not too low, to keep your neck aligned. If you're afraid of rolling onto your back, place a rolled-up pillow or towel behind you, a soft barrier of sorts. You'll be surprised. After a few nights, your body will turn left automatically. No reminders are needed. New habits don't form through willpower. They form through gentle repetition. And when you wake up the next morning, feeling lighter in your chest, breathing deeper, walking steadier, you'll know you did something right. Because sometimes, taking care of your health isn't about bold, dramatic changes. It's about the small things, done right, over and over again. One quiet turn every night. One choice no one else sees, but your heart feels it. 4. Building a new habit. Easier than you think. Changing habits when you're young is one thing, but after 60, every change requires more patience and a bit of self-understanding. If you've spent your whole life sleeping on your back, switching to side sleeping, especially on your left side, isn't just a change in posture. It's a shift in how your body feels safe during sleep. And you know what? Our bodies, especially after 60, don't respond well to fear. They don't listen to warnings. They respond to what feels familiar and comforting. So, if you want to build a new sleep habit, don't force it. Ease into it. You need to send signals of safety to your brain. Let it know that this new position isn't just comfortable, it's a place of true healing. This isn't punishment. This is protection. And here's how to make that happen. No fuss, no expense. Just a little setup and a little patience. Step 1. Choose the right pillow. It sounds simple, but many people can't sleep on their side because their pillow is wrong. Too low, your neck bends downward, shoulder and neck pain. Too high, your neck strains upward, numb arms by morning. You need a pillow that matches the distance from your head to your shoulder when lying on your side. It should be medium firm supportive but not stiff. Try a pillow with a neck groove designed for side sleepers. Step 2. Use a body pillow or a long pillow you can hug. Lie on your left side, hug the pillow, and place it between your knees. This keeps your spine aligned from neck to hips and gives your body a sense of security, like a gentle embrace through the night. This feeling is crucial. It tells your brain, this is safe. I can let go. Are you worried you'll roll back onto your back during the night? Here's a simple trick that works surprisingly well. Roll up a towel, use a firm pillow, and place it behind your back. When you roll over, your body will bump into it and naturally roll back. No waking up, no effort. Just a soft nudge, and you're back on track. Some people even sew a small tennis ball into the back of their pajamas. It is a classic trick that still works. Not to hurt you, but gently teaching your body to lie on your back isn't as comfortable anymore. But here's something even more powerful than all those physical tricks. A mental anchor, a calming habit that connects your mind to your new sleep posture. You see, our brains work through emotional associations. So if each night before bed, you lie on your left side and do one peaceful activity. Read a few pages of a calming book. Listen to soft, instrumental music. Do a few deep 4, 7, 8 breaths. Or place your hand over your heart and whisper, I'm letting my heart rest tonight. Then, over time, your brain will link left side sleeping with safety, healing, and rest. After a few weeks, you may naturally turn left when your head hits the pillow. That's the power of emotional habit anchors. You don't have to try to remember. Your body will choose what feels best if you give it a gentle anchor to return to. Take Ronald, 78, who cannot sleep on his side because of shoulder pain. Instead of forcing himself to stay there all night, he lay on his left side for 10 minutes before bed, hugging a long pillow and placing a soft roll behind his back. He'd take a few deep breaths, play a bit of soft piano music, then return to his usual position. After a week, 10 minutes became 30. By week 3, he fell asleep on his left side without realizing it. Now he wakes up with a steady heartbeat, no shoulder pain, and a clear mind, even though he still only sleeps 6 hours. You don't have to change your whole night. Just change how your night starts. And you can do that with small, repeatable steps each evening. Pillow in place, gentle sounds, slow breathing, a quiet reminder, I'm protecting my heart. You can even place a sticky note by your bedside. Left side, let your heart breathe. All of this is here to remind you. Proper recovery doesn't come from the number of hours you sleep. It comes from the quality of healing inside each hour. And your heart, after decades of non-stop beating, deserves to sleep without carrying the weight. You don't have to be perfect. You have to be consistent. It's like watering a plant each day. You don't need a flood. It's just the right amount at the right time. Your body is the same. Each small action, repeated night after night, becomes a robust foundation for healthy aging well into your 70s and 80s. And every steady journey begins with a single step. Tonight, your first step is a gentle turn to the left. 5. Add casein protein. Nourish your heart. While you sleep, sleeping in the correct position, that's half the journey. But if you want your heart not just to rest, but to recover truly, you need one more thing: the proper nutrition at the right time. And surprisingly, the most critical time of day for your heart may be right before bed. Sounds odd. After all, we've been told for years that late-night eating is bad. But that's not entirely true, especially after age 60. At this stage of life, your body no longer stores energy and nutrients as it once did. When you sleep, you enter 7-8 hours of no eating or fuel. For younger people, that's fine. But for older adults, that's a dangerous gap. Because your muscles, including your heart muscle, begin to break down if they don't have nutrients to sustain them. And if you've spent the day walking, stretching, or moving your body, nighttime is when your body needs to rebuild what you've used. You don't need a big meal. You don't need to load up on protein like an athlete. You need a slow, gentle, sustained form of protein. That's where casein comes in. Casein is a type of protein found in milk. But unlike whey, the fast-digesting kind, casein digests slowly, releasing amino acids steadily over 6 to 8 hours throughout your entire night's sleep. Imagine this. You've already chosen to sleep on your left side. You've helped your heart relax. Now, by adding casein before bed, you're giving your heart the building blocks to heal, repair, and renew itself. It's no coincidence that many geriatric experts now promote slow-release proteins as part of a strategy to preserve cardiac and functional muscle in aging bodies. But casein isn't just good for your heart. It can also help you stabilize blood sugar through the night, fewer wake-ups, reduce morning hunger or that empty stomach feeling, protect muscle mass, helping prevent muscle loss, which is directly tied to lifespan and independent mobility. Did you know? Just 1 kilogram of lean muscle lost in a year can reduce balance, walking speed, and fall resistance by up to 30% in seniors. Muscle loss, strength loss, independence loss, and it all begins at night. When you're not eating, when you're not thinking about it, when your body starts to feed on itself just to stay running. But if you drink a small serving of casein before bed, your body receives a steady drip of amino acids throughout the night, like a soft IV feeding your heart and muscles while you sleep. No insulin spikes, no restlessness, just giving your body what it quietly needs to recover properly. Not just sleeping right, but restoring right. And the best part, you don't need anything fancy or expensive. You have 2 simple options. Option 1, Casein protein powder, widely available at most health food stores. Choose micellar casein, the slowest digesting, lowest in lactose. Mix with water, warm water, or unsweetened almond milk. 1 scoop, about 30 or 40 gram, before bed is enough. Option 2. Natural foods, rich in casein, cottage cheese, plain Greek yogurt, low in sugar, low-fat milk if you tolerate lactose. Just eat 30 to 60 minutes before bed. You don't need much, just enough, and consistently. Worried about gaining weight? Don't be. Casein has a low insulin response, keeps you full longer, and won't trigger fat storage unless you're eating large amounts. Casein can help you sleep deeper, and deep sleep, in turn, helps regulate your hunger hormones the next day. And if you combine sleeping on your left side, drinking casein before bed, a gentle morning walk, staying hydrated during the day, you're creating a recovery ecosystem, a system where your heart, lungs, brain, and muscles are all supported. Take Harold, age 75. He used to feel drained after sleep, even while sleeping in the correct position. However, after drinking a small glass of casein protein 30 minutes before bed, his muscle soreness improved. His legs stopped tingling in the morning, and he no longer felt dizzy when leaving. After just 4 weeks, his heart rate and blood pressure readings were more stable. No added medication, just the proper nourishment at the right time. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet. You don't need to invest in expensive supplements. You need to understand this. Your heart is a muscle, and muscles need fuel, even while you sleep. If you're thinking, I'm already old, a little extra protein won't make much difference, then remember, small changes, when done consistently, create significant results. So give your body what it needs to recover, not just with posture, but with a quiet, steady stream of nourishment from casein. Because if you've already chosen to lie down, right? Why not let your heart rebuild, right? No starvation, no strain. Just 1 small glass before bed. A quiet gift for a heart that's been working for you your entire life. 6. Signs you're doing it right. Your body will let you know. You won't see flashing signs. There won't be bells ringing whenever you sleep in the correct position, drink the right protein, or keep a healthy evening routine. No one will pat you on the back in the morning and say, well done, you just made your heart stronger. But your body will leave clues. Gentle ones, subtle. Not loud, but unmistakably authentic. And if you're paying attention, you'll feel them. The first sign, and the easiest to notice, is that you no longer wake up exhausted. Before, even with 7 or 8 hours of sleep, you'd get up with a stiff back, a slightly racing heart, heavy eyelids, and a tight neck. But after a few nights of sleeping in the correct position, with the help of casein or proper evening nutrition, you start to feel a shift. It may not be dramatic, but you step out of bed more easily that morning. You don't need to sit for a while to gather strength. You don't feel breathless after brushing your teeth. You stand up, smoothly, without straining. And that moment is the first signal your body sends. We're healing. Next, you begin to notice your heartbeat. You may not check it often, but over a few days, you realize it no longer skips, races, or gives you that strange flutter it used to. When you sleep deeply, in the correct position, with steady oxygen and less pressure, your sympathetic nervous system, the one that keeps your heart in alert mode, begins to calm, and your heart rhythm returns to its natural pace. Not too fast, not too slow, just steady, as your body needs. Some people with tracking devices even report morning resting heart rate drops by 4 to 5 beats compared to before. And that's a perfect sign, because every beat your heart doesn't need to make is rest earned. Then comes deeper sleep with fewer wake-ups. You're no longer jolted awake at 2 or 3 a.m. You're not tossing and turning 10 times to find your sleep again. Instead, you sleep through, or if you do wake up, you fall back asleep easily. Why? Because blood sugar is more stable. Acid isn't creeping up your throat. Your airway isn't blocked, and your heart isn't under silent stress in the dark. A quieter night, a steadier morning, and a steadier morning, a smoother day. You may also notice something small, something you once assumed was just aging. Your joints feel less stiff. Before, you needed a few minutes of wrist rolls, ankle twists, or back stretches to stand up. Now your joints move easier. No more cracking. No more stuck knees. It's not a miracle. It's the result of reduced low-grade inflammation, which happens when your sleep is deep, your recovery is real, and your body isn't battling hidden stress all night. The immune system functions better. Circulation improves. Muscles, tendons, and connective tissues become more flexible. Then you start to feel something even more powerful. The desire to move. You're not forcing yourself to go for a walk. You want to. Your steps feel lighter. You breathe easier climbing stairs. You start thinking about leaving the house earlier, going a little farther, or simply enjoying the feeling that your body has energy again. One of the most encouraging signs after 60 isn't just sleeping more. It's wanting to move again, because that means your body has shifted from survival mode to rebuilding mode. And if you regularly monitor your blood pressure, you might see more stable numbers, less fluctuation, no morning spikes. One man, whose blood pressure used to swing from 145/95 each morning after 4 weeks of sleeping on his left side and drinking casein before bed, now wakes up at a steady 128/82. Not everyone will be the same, but if you stay consistent, the trend will appear. Also, don't forget to check your morning blood sugar, especially if you're pre-diabetic. Casein helps maintain a steady amino acid flow without spiking insulin. As a result, blood sugar doesn't jump when you haven't eaten yet. A calm reading in the morning is a sign your body made it through the night safely. No stress hormones, no oxygen drops. There is no hidden strain. And then, something beautiful happens. You start to feel happier, not because of any significant reason, just because you smile when you hear birds in the morning. You hum while making tea. You feel at peace when you open the window. You chat with people without irritation or fatigue. That's the most profound effect of healing sleep. You're not just alive. You have the presence of mind to live genuinely. Your body won't shout, "You're doing great," but it will whisper, through lightness in the morning, through steadiness in your heart, through smoothness in your step, through a day that doesn't begin in exhaustion, but with hope. You won't see flashing signs, but your body will leave quiet clues. So pay attention, tune in, and if you're noticing these changes, know this: you don't need to do anything dramatic. You need to keep going, because every night you sleep in the correct position is one step closer to strength, independence, and clarity. Because every time you nourish your heart the right way, you're giving a gift to your future self. No one else may see it, but you and your heart will feel it more clearly than anyone else ever could. Summary: healthy aging after 60 begins with tonight's sleep. After 60, the things that once seemed simple are no longer so simple. A meal is no longer just about feeling full. It's about managing blood sugar, cholesterol, and liver health. A morning walk is no longer just exercise. It's about balance, fall prevention, and maintaining your independence. And sleep, once thought to be the ultimate place of rest, has become a quiet battlefield in the journey of aging. When you're young, You can sleep however you like, on your stomach, on your back, curled left, rolled right, and still wake up feeling fine. But after 60, every small choice starts to matter a lot, because your body no longer bounces back like it used to. One wrong position can force your heart to struggle all night. A little oxygen loss can leave your brain foggy in the morning. One unrecovered night can be the start of muscle loss, high blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, or the loss of motivation to move. And sadly, no one teaches you these things when you enter your senior years, the stage where you need more than just enough sleep. But here's the good news. You don't need to change everything. You don't need expensive devices. You don't need a perfect 8-hour textbook night. You need to start your sleep on your left side, to have a small serving of casein or slow-digesting protein before bed, and to repeat these things each night with gentleness and patience, and you will feel the difference. Not after one night, but after 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months. You'll begin to notice your heart beats slower in the morning, your mind feels clearer, your neck and shoulders feel less stiff. You step out of bed more lightly. Most importantly, your body feels like it's truly recovering. That's the difference between just sleeping and healing. The difference between enough sleep and quality sleep isn't in the number of hours you lie in bed. It's in the quality of every breath, every heartbeat, every pulse of blood to your brain while you sleep. And after 70, this isn't just a lifestyle choice. It's a requirement to keep aging well, to live independently, to preserve your mental clarity, and to stay you, not dependent, not fearful, but in control. Sleep for the young is a recharge for an active day. But for older people, sleep becomes a medicine that quietly defines the quality of life. And if you followed us this far, you probably understand now. Your body after 60 doesn't need to be rescued. It needs to be understood. You're not weaker because you're older. You feel weaker because no one ever showed you how to protect yourself after 60. But now, you know, a simple turn to your side, a small glass of protein before bed can completely reshape your tomorrow. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply enough to save a heart quietly overworked for years. Now is the time to listen to yourself, to listen to your body, to tune in to the small signals it's been sending all along. What position do you sleep in each night? Do you wake up tired, without knowing why? Do you need 15 minutes in the morning to get going? Have you ever thought, sleep doesn't restore me like it used to? If so, try sleeping on your left side tonight. And tomorrow morning, listen to your body again. Feel the difference. A lighter chest, a clearer head, an easier rise, a steadier heartbeat, less stiffness in your joints. That's not luck. That's the result of the right choice. If you find value in this video, please share it with someone who struggles to sleep, a friend who always wakes up tired, an older loved one who's too exhausted to change, even though their back curls more each day. Maybe you are the one who can help them sleep better, feel better, and regain a sense of control, even after 70. Let's make healthy aging less scary. Let's make it a journey of clarity, dignity, and quiet confidence. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we invite you to do so today. Because we don't just make videos to help you live longer, we make them to help you live better, deeper, more fully. Healthy aging isn't a dream. It's the result of small things, done right, repeated daily. You can do this, and we'll be here every week to walk this journey with you.